So good night and welcome again. This is Clinton from Karima Clinton Wedding Films. I was looking at one of my longtime mentors recently on YouTube. He was speaking about how large corporate entities in their marketing efforts, they exploit everything that is good and noble about human nature in their ads. For example, Coca-Cola Company, the marketing of showing happy, authentic smiles of couples in love, laughing with each other with a bottle of Coke, somehow in their hands at the same time, as though Coca-Cola gives you that type of joy and that is moments you share while having a Coke. And he was speaking about how in third world countries, he was using Mexico as an example, Coca-Cola will actually go around the country and put up ads everywhere, signs at all the supermarkets, mini marts, parlors for free, with that same type of imagery to indoctrinate you into the belief that happiness is Coca-Cola. I think that's actually their slogan, something to that effect. And it works on me. I love Coca-Cola. I drink it. Everybody I know prefers a Coke over Pepsi or RC Cola or any other type of cola. It's because of the marketing, right? And I was thinking, in the wedding industry, that is exactly how it is. If you look at bridal magazines, there's always this agenda that they push on the once beautiful, noble aspect of two humans falling in love, true, authentic happiness, commitment, long-term fostering of love, togetherness. Like the real thing that a wedding is supposed to be: commitment to each other, moving away from your parental home, starting a new home with each other. And the marriage or the wedding is then transformed into something that is based on fashion, current trends, really expensive branding and marketing of certain things that a lot of couples think that they need to have. And the wedding planning actually causes them a lot of stress because they need to keep up with the Joneses mentality of I need this and I need that. And I was thinking maybe, as all weddings cancelled for a while, especially, well, most of our April weddings were postponed, some were cancelled. Two went ahead with very small 5-person attendance. And May might be somewhat similar. A lot of people are reconsidering their wedding and they're pausing for the moment and planning, thinking about what they were going to have, scaling down what they really need to have. And this actually, I think it should be used as an opportunity to focus on things that people don't usually think about for a wedding. Give it a lot more thought and focus on the things that very few couples think about that really matter. That is your mood on the wedding day, things you could do to enhance your mood, apart from spending 1,000 US on was it branded shoes? I don't know. Whatever brand of shoes that cost 2,000 US, 1,000 US, brand of dress that might cost 4,000 US. But those things really aren't the things that really makes people happy or contribute to their happiness. A lot of times, even though you get those stuff or you get some of the stuff you need like that, it doesn't help you out at all with your mood. We've seen this because we've done over 150 weddings and we've seen it all. And in general, human nature is that you're chasing one thing, you're chasing this vehicle, like let's say you want to have a Mercedes Benz or some German vehicle, and you get it, and finally when you have it, you thought that you will feel fulfilled and your life will be always on cloud 9, but sometimes they feel more deflated. They feel like all eyes are on me, so I I'm more choked up now and more tightened because attention is on me and I'm not really happy and I'm not really feeling full of myself and high self-esteem. Money and fashion and frivolous things of that nature and the true essence of human nature. And whilst these things might market to you and pander to you to tell you that they are, coronavirus is here and it's time to reconsider these things. I was looking at some bridal magazines and, for example, Brides, I think Brides is the biggest one. Bride Friday, Modern Bride, Signature Bride. Look through any of these magazines and see exactly, try to notice the marketing efforts going towards making you feel like you need something else to be happy. Fashion change, trends change. You know, if I look back at my 16-year-old fashion trends, things that I revered back then and thought really needed for my self-esteem and stuff, are not fashionable anymore. You can't substitute and compensate for expressions and love with brand names and fancy decor and special effects. From a photographer's point of view, I love like some fog and whatever, and some cool sparks and stuff, confetti, stuff like that. But the really magical photos that you may appreciate more in 25 years or 30 years, or the really magical photos that the kids might appreciate most, is looking at the chemistry between their parents, or looking at the chemistry between yourselves when you're older. And those are the stuff that will really stir up love and memories when you look back at your wedding video. There's the in-between moments between the things that you have to do when you look at each other and you smile at each other that we try to put in our videos. We solely focus not in our videos, because I don't want in our videos, when you're looking back at it in 25 years, you're looking at ridiculous fashion trends and you're laughing at yourselves, saying, look how silly we were, I guess that wasn't real, and I guess this new girl that I met here and me have a better connection, because when I was with you, we only cared about material stuff. In your wedding video trailer and in your wedding photos, you should look to capture real love and memories and not capture real fashionable materialistic stuff. So for example, Karima and I, we had a really small wedding because well, we were having a baby and it was last minute and we were together for a while, and it was sort of pulled together in 2 weeks by our close family and stuff. And our favorite picture of all the pictures was one that the photographer, don't know her name, captured when we looked at each other, probably for the first look in the mosque, probably not, I don't know, but that is the best picture for sure, and it was the in-between moment of a laugh, a eye-to-eye contact laugh between the couple, between us. And I sincerely believe that for your wedding in the future, the ones that in the future, meaning not 2 years from now or 3 years from now, but 5, 10, 15 years from now at least, the in-between moments and the authentic love expressions, the eye-to-eye moments and smirks and the capturing of a real human intimate moment is the one that would stir up love and make you be like, oh. And I really believe that if you look at the Louis Vuitton shoes that you were putting on and that you spent so much money on, you might not feel proud. You might be wearing some kind of technology light up LED, something from not any of the Italian brands or Nike or anything that is cool now. Versace, Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana.
You might find out that they exploit something like that, and
you might.
And then they could shut down the companies and and in 5 years time you
True,
don't
you're ashamed of the brand. In 5 years time you're ashamed of the brand and to taking advantage of the little Indian kids and African kids around the world, and riding on their 7-year-old slave labor.
Okay.
And this is me telling you direct, implementable steps that I know for sure would cause you to have better pictures on your wedding day, better videos, as follows. One, I have some notes here, right? So one, take stock of your brain neurochemistry and endocrine hormones on your wedding day and plan it to have the maximum amount of positive hormones and not be in a stressed, anxiety-ridden, cortisol, high stress hormone, high adrenaline. Those are not the chemistry that you want to have in your wedding day. You want to have at least your wedding morning planned out. Check your shirt size. Brides, check your groom's shirt size. Guys, don't check those things. Check the groom's men. Make sure everybody's stuff could fit them. Try it on before. One of our first weddings, it probably didn't affect their mood because that couple, that groom in particular, is a really nice guy that stuff like that won't affect his mood. So they were in Point Fortin, and on the wedding morning, the entire bridal party, all the groomsmen realized that they bought the wrong size Van Houston shirts. And instead of being size 17 normal fit, it was size 17 slim fit, which is about 3 or 4 sizes smaller, and nobody could have fit into them. So they had to go from Point Fortin to Gulf City Mall on a Saturday, which would probably take them about 4 hours to get the exchange done and to get back to Point Fortin. And the wedding probably ran about 4 hours late. And for a normal couple, that might severely crash your mood and frustrate you on your wedding day. But thankfully, not that couple.
Not that Point Fortin.
Not that Point Fortin guy, and that doesn't affect him. I don't know. That's too nice of a guy, too comfortable with himself to let that affect him. So the positive body hormones is minimizing stuff that might cause you cortisol and adrenaline on your wedding day. That might be double checking and making sure that you have everything that you need to get dressed or that you need for ceremony in place so that you don't think about that on your wedding morning. Have the best euphoric mood possible. Do things that will maximize those stuff, such as getting a slight aerobic exercise in the morning. Not too much to drain you and make you want to sleep after, but just enough to give you that little kick, that little runner's high, something like that. You can do some breathing exercises, some yoga, some kundalini, some Wim Hof breathing method, something that will get you calm, centered, in the zone, present. Nobody does that stuff. If you do that stuff, you'll magically be in a much more glowing state, happy, at ease and calm with the world, and it will show in your photographs and your trailer. Body language, knowing your body language when under stress and when under 250 eyes on you. Not everyone is accustomed to public speaking or has ever been the center of attention with so many people looking at your every move to see if you're in love with this person. And sometimes while you might be in love with this person for sure, and you guys are comfortable looking at each other, being with each other in private, you may be more nervous than you've ever felt in your entire life. So what we don't want to happen is that nervousness translates into, oh, they're not in love with each other or something like that. And look at them, they're like 2 kids that. So that's what the job of the photographer is and the videographer is, to make sure people are comfortable. And we do try our best, and one of my main guys, Farrett, is an expert at that. He makes people feel comfortable and relaxed and feel like you don't need to worry about anybody, and he has their back, and that is actually his strong point, making our couples feel really at ease with themselves. But simple body language hacks in addition to that, and just reminding yourself, like the posture, the way you stand, if your feet, for guys, if your feet get nervous and close together and your shoulders drop, just putting out your chest more, standing with confidence, remembering, like, if you're nervous during a vow, to keep looking at your partner's eye directly instead of looking down because of, anxiety.
A lot of eyes on you. All the old people want to know if you're really in love with this person that you meet or not. And you just have to relax and stay connected, because as you may feel nervous and disconnect on the actual wedding day, you have to understand that your guest wants to see you connected, because they leave the place feeling a lot better about witnessing what they just witnessed, which was love. Nobody
sure.
want to go to a wedding and see two people disconnected.
I never thought about it. I guess actually want to see you really in love, and so you need to give that. And in some ceremonies where you might think that your religious leader, the officiating priest, does not want to see you like in love or like intimate with each other, I do think that is the case, but somehow people act as though because I am in front of this priest or this pundit or this imam, I need to pretend like I am not in love with this person or I am not intimate with this person, because they think that religion and stuff slaps you on the wrist for being premarital in love intimacy.
No, just because you're looking at somebody don't mean you're premarital or whatever. Don't. You could look at them and it doesn't assume that you was physical with them before.
Right. So in reciting vows to each other, which you should do, you should read your own vows, no matter what religion you come from. You should insist on reading your own vows. But what we notice happening is that sometimes when someone is reading the vows, they might look at the person directly in the eye, but when the person is saying the vows to them and reading it to them, they're not making the eye contact too, they're looking away. The priest is looking nervously, sheepishly around the room, so no, at that time in particular,
they're looking like if it's a generic vow is being read out,
yeah.
when it's not. Even if it's a generic vow, it's not a generic vow because it's coming from your partner mouth.
True. One of the sweetest things I ever saw in a wedding moment was when I was in Mayaro for a Hindu wedding, and I think the bride was doing arati, one of the final steps of the Hindu wedding, and the groom looked at her and he raised his eyebrows. I got that at the correct zoom, and I thought that wow, at that moment I got really happy. I was like, wow, I have a great video here now, just for that one shot, and that was the best shot of the wedding trailer. That's a real nice move, like that, just that simple. That's a kind of comforting, like funny, cute, intimate moment. That is like an eye contact trick, like something like that to your partner. That is like something you need to be aware of. To do little funny, quirky mannerisms like that to lighten the mood goes a long way. Another one is when this guy Vikash walking on the aisle and pull out his sword in a funny moment. I thought that was really cool too. You don't have to repeat those exact moments, but just try to be fun and remember that this is your wedding. You spend all the money. Everybody here is here because of you. You could do what the hell you feel to do. You are the boss at this day. Nobody should have a problem, but you take it, come on, and taking the lead up as the boss. That's what they expect. That's what they want you to do. When you do that, people are like, they melt. People are like, oh wow, this is it. This is the groom. This is real love. But when you're nervous, because you might think it's because you need to be a little nervous because people want you to be looking shy, but it actually people think that you're not ready and you don't want this. It has the opposite effect. So drop that, and that is where it comes back to the hormones and the exercise and the breathing and the meditation and stuff like that helps you to be in the zone and to be in flow. One of the best books that you have is this, I'll link it in the bio, Stephen Kotler, The Hacks to Get Into Flow. It's like a quick 2-minute read, 5-minute read or something like that. Another step is knowledge, especially for Hindu weddings, or especially for if you're getting married by a Hindu ceremony, but you may not be familiar with all the routines of the Hindu wedding, or if you're not Hindu and you get married to a Hindu person and you don't know any of the normal procedures and traditions, enlightening yourself about them. Sometimes knowledge gives you confidence, or lack of knowledge leads you to look confused because you're always second guessing yourself. It's like if you're prepared for an exam and you're really prepared for an exam, you're really confident in the exam and it's like nothing for you because you've done this a million times, you know your work, you're ready for this. But if you walk into an exam and you really just doing it halfway, or you know some of the topics, then you might be nervous about stuff that you don't know, and you hope that not too many questions come like that, and it shows in the way you carry about yourself on your wedding day. If you're not sure of what is going to happen here, or if you've never seen a wedding video before, even if you get married in a Christian tradition and you've never seen a wedding video before, this might not be the case for Christians, right? Because everybody pretty much know what happens. But let's just say you're living under a rock and you've never seen anything. What is to happen next? And the priest says, kiss the bride. And it's like, where? Kiss the bride, where? What are they to do here?
There's a window.
There's a window. That's what happened. There's
a window.
Because people second guessing themselves and thinking if they're doing it wrong. And there's so many steps. I didn't count it, but I sure it's more than 50 steps, 50 traditions, and that's why we put it all here, so people could quickly go over all the steps and see what they're missing out, what they didn't know about, and more importantly, from a photographer's point of view, what we expect you to know and to do on your wedding day. And just the knowledge alone on that will go a long way in the way how you're perceived by people. Share this with anybody you know getting married, or any couple you know that should get married soon, even if the guy didn't propose yet. And give us any suggestions that you think. I'm sure I left out some stuff that you think people should do to prepare for the wedding day. And tell me, like, I come from a place where, like, this kind of high man culture, me and my friends, anti-system and anti-materialism and stuff. So I think I may be biased about, like, absolutely hating materialism and stuff in the wedding day and brand name stuff. But tell me things that you think should be left out of weddings and that really isn't in the best interest of love, marriage and togetherness, but is more in the consumeristic, materialistic approach, in the comments below. Thank you.